They say eggs are a perfect food, packed with protein and nutrients. Right. And for many of us over 60, they're a go-to easy meal. Affordable, versatile, and, yes, full of goodness. You might have one scrambled for breakfast, a hard-boiled one in your salad, or even a little frittata for supper. We've been eating eggs our whole lives, but what if the very ways you're preparing and eating your eggs every single day, thinking you're doing something good for your body, are actually working against you? What if some common habits are putting your health at risk, especially as you get a little older? It's a painful thought, isn't it? That something so simple and familiar could be causing hidden problems? You might feel digestive, upset, you can't quite figure out. Or notice your cholesterol numbers aren't ideal despite your best efforts. Or maybe just feel generally not as vibrant as you'd like. The surprising truth is, it's often not the egg itself, but how we eat it, what we pair it with, and even how we store it. That can make a big difference. In this video, we're going to uncover 5 seemingly harmless ways seniors often eat eggs that can actually be quite dangerous for your long-term health and well-being. We'll look at simple changes you can make to keep enjoying this nutritional powerhouse without the hidden risks. Stay right until the end because there's something we'll discuss that might truly surprise you about the eggs you're eating. Let's dive straight into the first way many people, including lots of seniors, eat eggs that really isn't the best idea, and it carries a significant risk, especially as our bodies change with age. We're talking about eating eggs that are raw or significantly undercooked. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Oh, I love a runny yolk. Or, my grandmother always ate cookie dough with raw egg in it. And yes, for many years. Perhaps the risk wasn't as widely known. Or perhaps our immune systems were just a bit more robust. But the fact is, raw or undercooked eggs can contain a nasty bacteria called salmonella. For most healthy adults, getting salmonella might mean a few uncomfortable days of fever, diarrhea, and cramps. Unpleasant. Certainly, but usually manageable. However, for seniors, whose immune systems might not be as strong as they once were, a salmonella infection can be far more serious. It can lead to severe dehydration, requiring hospitalization, and in rare cases, it can even be life-threatening. Think about it. Something as simple as dipping your toast into a very runny yolk, having hollandaise sauce made with raw egg, enjoying homemade mayonnaise, or even sipping an old-fashioned eggnog could expose you to this risk, while the chances aren't 100% with every raw egg. Why take the gamble when the consequences can be so much more severe for you now? The good news is, it's incredibly easy to avoid this risk entirely. Cooking your eggs thoroughly until both the white and the yolk are firm kills off any potential salmonella bacteria. This means scrambling them until they're no longer wet, boiling them until the yolk is solid, or frying them over easy but letting them cook just a minute or two longer until that yolk is mostly set. If you absolutely love that runny yolk texture, look for pasteurized eggs. Pasteurization is a process that heats the eggs just enough to kill bacteria without fully cooking them. You can often find pasteurized eggs in the shell or as liquid eggs in the dairy section. Using these for recipes that call for raw or lightly cooked eggs is a much safer bet. Remember, protecting yourself from foodborne illness is key to staying healthy and out of the hospital. And simply cooking your eggs through is one of the easiest ways to do it. Moving on from the hidden dangers of undercooking, let's talk about the second way many seniors prepare their eggs that isn't doing their health any favors frying them excessively, especially in unhealthy fats. Now, who doesn't love a perfectly fried egg, that crispy edge? Maybe a still, soft yolk. Delicious, but the way we fry them, and the amount of frying we do regularly, can introduce problems. Many traditional methods involve using butter, lard, or vegetable oils that aren't ideal when heated to high temperatures. Butter and lard are high in saturated fats, which we know can contribute to higher cholesterol levels over time. And heart health is something we need to be particularly mindful of as we age. Some vegetable oils, when heated too high, can break down and create compounds that are pro-inflammatory in the body. Regular consumption of foods fried this way can contribute to chronic inflammation, which is linked to numerous age-related diseases from arthritis to heart disease. And furthermore, frying adds extra calories and fat to an already nutritious food. If you're frying eggs in a tablespoon or two of butter or oil every morning, that adds up significantly over a week or a month. It can contribute to weight gain, put extra strain on your digestive system, and counteract the healthy aspects of the egg itself. It's like taking a perfectly healthy apple and deep frying it. You lose some benefits and add a lot of negatives. The good news is, you don't have to give up fried eggs entirely. It's all about making smarter choices. Firstly, consider how often you're having them this way. Maybe save the classic greasy fry-up for an occasional treat rather than a daily habit. Secondly, choose healthier fats for cooking. Olive oil, especially extra virgin olive oil, is a much better choice. It contains monounsaturated fats that are good for your heart, and it's more stable at the temperatures typically used for frying an egg. Avocado oil is another excellent option with a high smoke point. You can also use non-stick pans to significantly reduce the amount of oil or butter you need. Sometimes, just a tiny splash of a healthy oil or even a bit of cooking spray is enough to prevent sticking. And thirdly, consider other preparation methods more often. Poaching, boiling, or steaming eggs use little to no added fat and retain all the egg's natural goodness. A simple boiled egg provides the same protein and nutrients as a fried one, but without the added calories and potentially harmful fats from the cooking process. Making these small tweaks, reducing frequency, choosing better oils, and exploring other cooking methods can help you enjoy eggs while actively supporting your heart health and overall well-being as you continue to age gracefully. It's about making conscious choices that serve your body best in the long run. Continuing our chat about how we eat eggs. The third way many seniors fall into a less than ideal habit is by regularly pairing their eggs with processed, high-sodium meats. Think about the classic breakfast plate scrambled eggs, maybe some home fries, and a side of bacon, sausage, or ham. Delicious, yes, and a long-standing tradition for many. But let's look closer at those meats. Bacon, sausage, breakfast patties, deli ham. These are all considered processed meats. They're often preserved, cured, or smoked. And this processing usually involves high amounts of salt, and sometimes nitrates or nitrites. For people over 60, managing blood pressure is often a key health focus, and consistently high sodium intake is a major culprit behind elevated blood pressure. Eating salty processed meats with your eggs every day, or even several times a week, can make it much harder to keep your blood pressure in a healthy range, increasing your risk for heart attack and stroke. Beyond sodium. These processed meats are also typically high in saturated fats, which, as we discussed with frying, contribute to unhealthy cholesterol levels. So, you're getting a double whammy of things that aren't great for your cardiovascular system in one meal. It's not just about the occasional Sunday brunch. It's the cumulative effect of having this combination frequently. You might think just a couple of strips of bacon aren't a big deal, but coupled with other sources of sodium and saturated fat throughout the day, it adds up. The painful reality here is that something that feels like comfort food or a hearty start to the day could be silently contributing to serious health issues down the line. The good news, again, is that you don't have to banish eggs from your breakfast plate. It's about smart substitutions and mindful eating. Instead of processed meats, pair your eggs with healthier protein sources or healthy fats. Think about having your eggs with a slice of avocado, loaded with healthy monounsaturated fats and fiber. Or alongside some smoked salmon, it has omega-3s. Though be mindful of the salt content here too and choose lower sodium options if possible. Leaner options like a small piece of grilled chicken breast from last night's dinner, or even plant-based proteins like black beans or lentils, can make excellent and much healthier companions for your eggs. And if you really miss that savory meat element, look for unprocessed versions like a small lean pork chop, or try alternatives like turkey bacon, checking the sodium content, as it can still be high, or plant-based sausages made from whole ingredients. Again, reading the labels carefully for sodium. The key takeaway is to break the habit of automatically pairing eggs with processed, high-sodium meats on a regular basis. Your heart and your blood pressure will thank you for choosing healthier partners for your nutritional egg powerhouse. It's a simple swap that can make a profound difference in your daily nutrient intake and long-term health picture. Following our look at processed meats, let's consider the fourth habit that's less about cooking and more about convenience: consuming eggs regularly as part of highly processed, high-sodium convenience foods. Now, we all have days when cooking feels like too much effort, and grabbing something quick seems like the perfect solution. Many convenience options feature eggs pre-made breakfast sandwiches from fast food chains, frozen quiches from the supermarket, packaged breakfast burritos, or even egg-based ready meals. While these might seem like an easy way to get your protein fix, they often come loaded with hidden downsides, like the processed meats we just talked about. These convenience foods are typically sky-high in sodium. Manufacturers use salt for flavor, preservation, and texture, and it adds up incredibly quickly. A single breakfast sandwich from a fast food chain can contain a significant percentage, sometimes even over half, of your recommended daily sodium limit. Remember how crucial managing sodium intake is for blood pressure as you age. Relying on these processed options frequently can sabotage your efforts to keep your blood pressure healthy. Besides the sodium bomb, these foods are often made with less healthy ingredients overall. They might use refined grains for the bread or pastry, contain unhealthy fats including trans fats in some cases, though less common now. Always check labels and be low in fiber and essential vitamins compared to a meal made from scratch. The egg itself might be just a small component drowned out by unhealthy additions. You think you're eating a nutritious egg, but you're really consuming a vehicle for excess salt, bad fats, and refined carbs. It's a painful reality that convenience often comes at the cost of our health. You might experience bloating, digestive discomfort, or just feel sluggish after eating these, without realizing the high sodium and processing are the culprits. So, how can you enjoy the convenience of eggs without falling into this trap? Planning is key. If you know you have busy mornings, boil a batch of eggs at the beginning of the week. A hard-boiled egg is a perfect grab-and-go snack or breakfast component that is pure nutrition. Make your own simple breakfast sandwiches or burritos ahead of time using whole-grain bread or tortillas. Actual eggs you cook yourself, and maybe add some spinach or lean protein instead of processed meats. Freeze individual portions for easy reheating, instead of a frozen quiche. Make a larger frittata or crustless quiche over the weekend with plenty of vegetables and maybe a little cheese. Then portion it out for quick meals during the week. These homemade options allow you to control the ingredients, especially the amount of salt and the type of fats used. They might take a little bit of time initially, but they save you time and protect your health in the long run compared to relying on processed convenience items. Making mindful choices about where your food comes from, even something as simple as an egg sandwich, empowers you to take better control of your nutrition and avoid those hidden pitfalls lurking in convenience foods. Moving forward, let's address the fifth and final way that eating eggs can be dangerous for seniors, and this one is all about food safety and storage. It might sound obvious, but eating eggs that are past their prime or haven't been stored correctly poses a serious risk of food poisoning. Similar to the salmonella risk we discussed with raw eggs, but potentially from other bacteria as well. As we get older, our digestive systems and immune responses can become a little less resilient. What might give a younger person a mild upset stomach could lead to a much more severe illness, intense dehydration, and a longer recovery time for someone over 60. So, how do you know if your eggs are safe first? Always check the date on the carton. In many places, this is a sell-by or best-by date, not necessarily an expiration date, but it gives you a strong indication of freshness. A general rule of thumb is that eggs are usually good for several weeks after the sell-by date if stored properly. But how do you store them properly? The key is refrigeration. Eggs should be kept in their original carton in the coldest part of your refrigerator, not in the egg holders on the door. The door is subject to temperature fluctuations every time it's opened, which isn't ideal for maintaining a consistent cold temperature needed to keep bacteria like Salmonella from multiplying. The original carton also helps protect the eggs from absorbing odors from other foods in the fridge and prevents moisture loss. Never wash eggs before storing them. Commercially produced eggs have a protective bloom on the shell that prevents bacteria from entering, and washing it off makes them more porous. Wash them just before you use them if needed. Now, what if you find some old eggs in the back of the fridge and you're not sure how old they are? There's a simple float test you can do. Gently place the egg in a bowl of cold water. If it sinks to the bottom and lies on its side, it's very fresh. If it sinks but stands on one end, it's still okay to eat but getting older, perfect for hard boiling as the air cell is larger and makes them easier to peel, if it floats to the surface. Discard it. This indicates a large air cell has formed, meaning it's quite old and potentially unsafe. Eating an old or improperly stored egg, even if cooked thoroughly, carries a higher risk of spoilage, bacteria that can still make you sick. It's just not worth the risk, especially when the consequences can be so much more debilitating as you age. Making a habit of checking your egg carton dates, storing them correctly in the main part of the fridge, and doing the float test if unsure are simple but crucial steps to protect yourself from unnecessary foodborne illness. See, it's easy to overlook, but practicing good food safety with something as common as eggs is a vital part of maintaining your health and independence. So, we've talked about 5 ways that eggs, a food we often think of as purely healthy, can actually pose risks depending on how we handle and eat them. Especially for those of us over 60, we looked at the danger of raw or undercooked eggs and the very real threat of salmonella poisoning, which hits harder as you age. We discussed how frying eggs excessively in unhealthy fats can add unwanted saturated fats and potentially inflammatory compounds to your diet, impacting heart health. We explored the pitfalls of routinely pairing eggs with processed, high-sodium meats like bacon and sausage, contributing to high blood pressure and other cardiovascular issues. We also uncovered the hidden sodium bombs and unhealthy fats lurking in convenience egg-based foods like fast food sandwiches and frozen quiches. And finally, we emphasized the critical importance of proper storage and checking freshness to avoid foodborne illness from spoiled eggs. It might feel a little overwhelming to think about changing long-standing habits, but please don't feel discouraged. The beautiful thing is that all of these potential dangers are completely avoidable with simple, actionable steps. You can absolutely continue to enjoy eggs as a wonderful part of your diet. It's about making conscious choices, cook them thoroughly. Choose healthier cooking fats like olive oil when you do fry them. Pair them with fresh vegetables, avocado, or lean, unprocessed proteins instead of processed meats. Make your own egg-based meals ahead of time to avoid reliance on high-sodium convenience foods. And always practice good food safety by storing them correctly and checking for freshness. Remember, small changes really can make a big difference to your health and happiness as you age. By being mindful of how you eat your eggs, you're not just avoiding potential problems, you're actively choosing to protect your health. Support your heart, maintain healthy blood pressure, and keep your digestive system happy. Taking these steps is an act of self-care, empowering you to enjoy this nutritious food safely and confidently. What's your favorite healthy way to eat eggs? Or perhaps you have a tip for storing them or a healthy pairing you love. Please share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. We can all learn from each other. If you found this information helpful, please give the video a thumbs up. It really helps us reach more people who can benefit from these tips. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more practical advice on living your best life at every age. Thank you for watching. And here's to enjoying your eggs the healthy way. Live your best life at every age.